Hello guys, this time I want you to start exploring a very useful tool called Geogebra, and I want you to use the classic version. It's already opened here, so what you might want to do at the beginning is just Google Geogebra Classic, and it will immediately take you to the page you see just in front of you. And for today's assignment, this is going to be really brief. I want you to do the following. Remember, from section 8.1, you defined certain core concepts starting with the undefined terms like point, line, and plane. And we also reviewed other terms, the defined terms like segment and ray, and we also did opposite rays that day. This is what I want you to do so you start getting familiar with this dynamic software tool for geometry. So let's begin. Once you open GeoGebra Classic, you will see a menu with different options. So there are 6, 9, 11 buttons here, as well as a box to enter a different mathematical symbols and so on. But today we're just going to be focusing on these buttons here, that as soon as you click on them, you will see a drop-down menu with different functions as well, as you can now see. So let's begin. Let's begin by graphing dot, or a point better. So as you can see, the second one drops down and then you click on point. You click on it and then we are going to create 4 points. That, remember, points are representation of a location in space. GeoGebra immediately labels that point for you. As you can see, point A, and you do it anywhere. You can see anyway. Let me just do C and D. They are going to be located at easily identifiable coordinates. As you can see, C is going to have coordinates 3, -1, and if you take a look at your left, you see how the boxes show you the corresponding coordinates. Now let's do D. For example, D is going to be 10, -3 right here. Okay, so this is the first thing you're going to do. Please don't do the ones I am locating right now. What I want you to do is draw or plot 4 points. That's going to be the first task for you. Now let's take a look at the second one. We're going to plot a line. Now that comes from the third menu right here. It's going to drop down, and the first option is a line. In order for you to plot or draw a line, just click on it, and then you will have, as it says here, select 2 points or positions. I'm going to choose 2 different positions other than the ones you just drew. So I might want to start like somewhere over here, and then you see that immediately you see the line, and it will be located. The orientation or direction, it's going to depend on where you want to put or draw that second point. You need at least 2 points to determine how a line is going, right? So I'm just going to do it like this. It's a going up line. Can you see how it accommodates to certain points that are easily identifiable? So I'm going to put it right here. Here it is, a line. So again, I want you to explore this. I want you to take a look at something. If you want to drag the whole plane, you need to click on this arrow and click on move. So as soon as you click anywhere other than the elements, okay, you just need to put it somewhere over here, and if you keep, you will see how then it's going to be dragging the whole plane, and then you release, and then it's good. I wanted to do that because I wanted to show you that once you create the line, you can see this letter F. I'm going to grab it and put it somewhere over here. This is the farthest it can go. And you see this is line EF or line F. if you look at your left. It even gives you the equation of a line, as you can see. We're not going to deal with that, just we're learning how to draw these things. Let's now go with a plane. We learned that usually the representation of a plane is by drawing what we know as a parallelogram, all right? So now the last thing you're going to do is drawing that parallelogram, but I'm going to move my plane a little bit somewhere over here, so I have some room for that. But you know what? No, I'm going to draw it over here, and it's going to be over the whole thing. So you need to click on the fifth button where you see this triangle. And as you do that, it's going to drop down for options. We're going to choose the option of polygon. Click on it, and then you will need to select all vertices and then the first vertex again. What does that mean? I need to click on 4 different points starting. And this time, all the vertices of that parallelogram, which will represent a plane, are going to be located at coordinate points that use integers. So let's begin with the first one. I'm going to locate the first vertex at -3, 2. Sorry, -3, -2. You can see it here, point G. Let's now extend it to 7, -2. Now let's go up and to the right a little bit, so we can do 8 through, no, 9, 3 like this. And then, as you can see, I did 5 up and 2 to the right, so going from here, I'm gonna go up 5 up to the right, and then I just have to go back to G, and then it will immediately close that, and that's what we have. Okay, what does it look like? Do you like it? Okay, that's your plane. That plane has a name. Take a look at this. I should have. Okay. Oh, it doesn't allow me to move it. It just. Oh, sorry, because it's showing me that this is segment I, segment J, G, and H corresponding to my polygon, the polygon Q1. If I click in here, you can see that it's selected that parallelogram that represents a plane. These are again, 3 things I want you to do. And one last thing. Remember, these first 3 were undefined. According to geometry, it's hard to define a point, a line, and a plane. They're just representations of how we conceive or perceive things in space. That's, geometry was born that way because we wanted, or people in general wanted to represent things in space from how they looked in their minds. Now, one last thing, the one that can be defined is a ray that consists of an endpoint and all the points AB that lie on the same side of AB. A bunch of wording, but I'm going to do it just like that. I'm going to get to the third button that is going to drop down, and I'm going to choose ray here. We select a starting point and then a point on the ray. So this is going to be like this. From here, point K, you see that there is nothing on the left side of that point K. It's only on the right, because that's the difference between a ray and a line. A line has no endpoints. We just chose, for example, with line EF, 2 points. Those points were part of the line, but that does not mean that those are the endpoints of the line. With the ray, instead, we have an endpoint, but it has no end, so I'm going to click anywhere, and then you see KL, or K is our ray. These are the 4 things I want you to represent using Geogebra. Now, what is going to be the evidence I will get from you? Well, there are 2 ways in which you can submit this assignment. You can get a screenshot, the way you usually do with your Chromebooks, and then submit it on Canvas. Or you can just say, you click on this menu with the 3 lines over here, and then you might want to, for example, export image. Here it is. and then you can say copy to clipboard, and then you can just paste it on the canvas assignment, or again export an image and you can download it. As you can see, just download it, and then you find it on your files and again send it through Canvas. You know what, one last thing, because I think it's necessary to do that. You see this menu, the last one, that has different applications and options, and I want you to click on text, because now somewhere over here I'm going to click on it and then I'm gonna say, hey, this is no one else's but mine, and here it is, Omar Naranjo, and I can put it somewhere over here, and then okay, yeah, that's it. So I'm going to click on the move part of it, so I don't, whenever I click, I'm just going to not introducing anything else in my file. So that's it, guys. If you want to rewind it and play it again so you know what you have to do, once you finish that and you put your name on it, make sure you get a screenshot, or as I showed you, click on here, export image, download it, or copy to clipboard, making sure that then you submit it on Canvas. That's what I want for this, going further with section 8.1. And that's all. Thank you very much.